Wait.
We are live. We are live. I'm going to hang out for a real second. Steven, let's go share.
Let's do it. I forgot we're on video now.
And now you can start fapping if you want.
Thank you. Well, no, I definitely can't. No. Oh, here we go.
Please don't do that.
I have to start a watch party.
Partay.
Remakes-R-Us. That's funny. Okay. I have shared mine. My volume is down. And my watch party is about to begin. Watch party. Oh. Okay.
Let me get this.
All right, I'm good.
My phone is taking forever.
Forever.
Oh, we got comments already. Who's here with us? That shirt, though.
Which one?
Which one?
We're going to have to start posting our apparel as credits.
Dude,
Maybe we can get some new sponsorships in here.
That's IJ.
Oh, so definitely you. He's definitely talking about you.
That too.
Dude, that's who you need to reach out for sponsorship is Fright Rags, bro.
Yeah.
Because we wear your shirts all the time in our lives.
Well, this is Cavity Colors, so but Jeremy's got a Fright Rag shirt on right now.
Most of the time, Jeremy has a Fright Rag shirt on.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I'm gonna start watch party.
Steven Eford, he goes, red carpet pre-show so we can discuss the outfits. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And just to clarify, we have nice shirts, but we always go pantless.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, we got a Winnie the Pooh.
All right. Well, ooh, can I do the countdown?
Can you not set it at 30 minutes?
I don't get they don't give me an option on where to start it. It's 30 and that's it.
Okay, yeah, do it. Go for it.
All right, too long.
And I took a swig too. I was waiting for the whole 30.
No, that's too long. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready, Steven? In 3, 2. Welcome back to the Screen Addicts podcast. We are glad everybody's here watching us and not the debates. But as always, guys, I am one of your hosts, Chris. Let's do it again, Viegas.
I am Cinema Steven Sosa.
I am Jeremy, and stay away from those garbage pail kids.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They are nasty.
Yes, they are.
Dirty.
They'll do weird things to you.
Especially, you stay away from the people that wear Garbage Pail Kids shirts and do-rags at the same time.
No.
Jeremy is a walking disclaimer.
I am.
I like it, man. I like your style.
I need a haircut.
Okay.
Oh, that's what the do-rag's for. I got you. All right,
you look
fellas.
kind of cropped up there pretty nicely, Chris. Did you just go get a trim?
It was yesterday,
Okay. Not bad.
Looking good. Had to make sure I looked okay for our fans tonight because, Steven is always the popular one. So
I guess so.
And Jeremy's got all the Twitter fans. So,
That's a damn fact.
All right, fellas. Well, it's been a minute since we've come together for this show. So we got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover. Our main topic tonight, if you read the headline, the description of the video, we're going to be talking about movies that we think need to be remade. Not necessarily sequels, no sequels to these movies, but definitely need to be remade. Whether it be, the new technology that's out now that can make a movie so much better, or the first one was just so horrible that it needs to be remade because it can be a good movie. So that's what we'll be talking about later tonight. But before we get all there, as we always do, recently watched. So, Jeremy, you kick it off as always, my friend. What do you have?
Well, this time it's not very long because mainly I've been paying attention to football and trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with my fantasy team, what everybody's doing this time of year. But I did manage to watch the documentary Console Wars about the introduction of the Sega Genesis competing with the Nintendo. And over the 90s, how Sega pretty much they paved their own way and kind of became a direct competitor to Nintendo, even though now Sega's dead and buried, but PlayStation and Microsoft have taken that lane and they're now direct competitors to Nintendo until these new consoles come out anyway. Because they're not gonna be
I watched Console Wars too. I thought it was pretty good. I know Netflix has this new docu-series that they're doing called High Score, where it's similar to that. They kind of discuss each game that they're doing and pretty much the ongoing battle between the two brands. But I actually like Console Wars. It was just an hour and a half long, kind of encompasses everything, goes over
really
everything,
good.
And I thought it was good too.
Yeah, that's really all I got for this time. I didn't really watch much this week.
I will say you do watch a lot of football. Like Jeremy isn't the type that just watches one game of his team. He watches like every team and college ball. So he's a definite fan in that regard.
Dang, Jerome, that's a lot, man.
Dude, when you're on DraftKings, that makes you a fan.
Have you had any big payouts on that?
Not since week 1.
What was that, if you don't mind me asking?
150.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
Probably better than I would do.
Yeah. I'd owe money.
I've been on DraftKings for 5-6 years now, and that was the biggest payout I've ever gotten.
Wow.
Okay. All right. All right. So, I guess to me, I've been watching a show. I started a show actually on Netflix called Kingdom, and that is what I've been binging. And I can't do like Steven. Like when I start a show, I have to hone in on it and that is all I watch. Like I'm dead set on starting and finishing it. So I haven't watched much else besides Kingdom. But man, it is so good. So freaking good. If you like MMA and drama, this is the show for you. Some really good, decent acting in it. No really big names. The biggest name I think in that show is Nick Jonas.
That's not a selling point.
But he's not.
But he's
horrible.
Good in it. Yeah,
he's not horrible in it. And the guy from one of my favorite movies. What's his name, Stephen?
Frank. Oh, Jonathan Tucker.
Jonathan Tucker.
Yeah.
Which from one of my favorite movies ever. 100 Girls, he plays this dorky college kid, and now you bring him into Kingdom, and he's this ripped drug addict MMA fighter. Total difference. So, but it's really good, really, really good. I've been keeping up with Big Brother, obviously. It's getting down to the end, and I'm going to be sad again.
God, that was fast.
Oh, it
Oh,
was
it
super
started in the
fast.
summer, right?
Yeah, it started
Oh,
in
okay.
December. So, but it's been a decent season, not too horrible. And then this is what goes on in the mornings. Tasha gets fixated on a show as well, and she has to start and finish it. And by the time she's going to finish it, I'm sucked into the show too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been rewatching Melrose Place, dude.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. What are you watching that on?
I believe it's Hulu.
Okay.
And let me tell you, the one thing that sticks out about Melrose Place is the damn guitar riffs in this show.
Yeah.
Every 10 seconds. And it just, and like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's part of the theme song too. It has that like hard riff in there, and man, it's funny you said that because I was thinking about rewatching it myself because when it first came out, I watched it with my mom, as appropriate as that is. But back then it wasn't by today's standards. The show's not that bad. It's pretty tame in comparison to today's dramas.
Oh yes, definitely.
But back then, man, I love that show. I thought it was so good. And of course, like Allison and Amanda are just like, hello, my mom had such a crush on Billy too. It was just ridiculous.
Dude, and like you're rewatching it and the way Billy is, you're like, dude, how could anybody like this dork ass dude? Like the way he acts, the way he talks, the way everything he does is just like, dude, you're so dorky. Like, how? But
well, I think a lot of that too was that Andrew Shue, who's Elizabeth Shue's brother, there's a little bit of trivia, and he was a soccer player, and everybody thought, oh well, he's good looking, he's handsome, let's put him in this show, and he didn't have any acting ability. So when you think of it like that, you can tell, you're like, oh man, they literally plucked him from the soccer field. But yeah, it's so fun. But Michael Mancini is probably to this day one of the worst villains on any of those shows. Like, he's awful and it's hilarious. He's a bad guy you love to hate.
Oh, dude, he's so. Oh my gosh.
That's it. I'm gonna watch Melrose Place now.
So yeah, we've been watching that, and dude, this is back in the older days of TV shows when actual seasons were freaking long.
Yeah.
25 to 30 episodes a season.
Yeah.
Not this 10 episode crap.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Oh, I love it. Oh, you like the 10 episodes stuff.
Yeah.
No, dude, I want like New York Undercover, like 30 episodes a season. Like you go through somebody's whole life in one season.
And their grandkid.
From birth to anyways.
Who's your favorite character on Melrose? Dude, we're gonna turn this into a Melrose Place episode.
Melrose, right? Dude, okay, I like Sydney. Just because she's so freaking crazy.
The redheads.
Yes, dude, like she's just so.
And Kimberly, she's the other redhead. They're both crazy.
Kimberly and her 5 head. And like no spoilers, because I mean it's Melrose Place, it's happened a long time ago. Like we just reached to where she came back to life.
And pulls the wig off.
Yes.
Dude, it's that big ass scar. I'm gonna watch Melrose Place. This is ridiculous.
Dude.
Jeremy, join us.
Yes.
The Screen Addicts have now officially became the Shooters Boys podcast. Jake was my favorite. I always thought Jake was so cool.
Yeah, you would want to like Jake. Like you're like your type in in TV shows, like you like Rip in
Yeah,
Yellowstone.
that's my type of guy.
Anyway, all right. And then football, and it's me versus Steven this week.
It is,
in our
isn't it?
fantasy football league.
All right. I took out number 1. I'll take out number 4 too.
Hey, I'm the number 1 in points, though, sucker.
That is true.
So we'll see.
Jeremy, how are you doing in the league?
Next to last.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, man.
It's not how you start; it's how you finish, right?
That's
Jerry?
Exactly.
That's true. That is definitely true.
And plus, I think we're having the Screen Addicts Bowl coming up since it's you two this week. Next week, it's me and Steven. And then I think the week after that, it's Chris and me. Okay. So,
got some shout outs here. Steven and my cousin Joey. Man, my cousin Joey, that's a loyal listener right there, man. He's always watching. Giving him a shout out.
Cool. Hello, Joey. All right, but that's it for me on recently watched. Steven, I know you have a mountain of a list, so we should get started as soon as possible.
Okay, here we go. Much like Jeremy, watched Console Wars. Good stuff. I watched The Outpost, the war movie starring Orlando Bloom on Netflix. It was okay. It was pretty good. It was shot very well. No pun intended. But it kind of reminded me of Black Hawk Down, though. The action's really good, but you get kind of lost in the story and the characters as far as who's who and their motivations and stuff. But it was okay. I saw Rogue with what's her name? Jeremy. Transformers. Megan Fox.
Oh, really?
She played Megan Fox. Megan Fox, I repeat, Megan Fox is the leader of a group of
heard about this movie.
Yes, of commando mercenaries who are going to extract these kidnapped girls in the Sudan. Yeah. And in doing so, they run afoul of this, some of the militant groups down there, as well as these giant crocodiles. So, yeah.
Did she need Optimus?
Oh, she needed every one of those and the Ninja Turtles, because my God, it was okay for a low budget film. It's just the fact that Megan Fox as the leader of a group of mercenary soldier for hire badasses, kind of,
if she was like one of the people on the team, sure, but leading them?
Yeah, that's where it kind of lost me. It was okay. I watched this one by writer-director Dave Franco called The Rental, and it starred his wife, my ex, Allison Brie, and it was okay. It was a nice little horror thriller, if you will. These 4 friends go to this Airbnb in this nice cabin, and then there's this guy that's been surveilling them, and he ends up trying to kill them and stuff. It was okay. Watched one with our girl Chris, Blake Lively from Gossip Girl.
Oh yeah,
and it was called
XOXO.
the Rhythm Section with Jude Law, where she plays this girl whose family was murdered in a terrorist bombing. So she's playing a Londoner in it, though. It was kind of funny with seeing her with an accent, but she's a decent enough actress to pull it off. Jude Law is the guy that trains her in how to become an assassin so she can go and kill the people that, murdered her family and stuff. It was okay. Couple things on Prime I watched. This movie called Scare Package on Shudder, which was kind of interesting. Like, it starts off as an anthology horror movie, and then it kind of evolves into its own little movie, kind of very Cabin in the Woods, kind of meta type. It was okay. The gore is really good in it. It would rank high on the gore score for Jeremy for sure. Watched this really disappointing one called Mary, and it was Gary Oldman was in it. So you think, okay, it's Gary Oldman. No matter how low budget it is, it'll still be pretty solid. No, it was like a ghost on a yacht type of movie. Very disappointing. Watched Guns Akimbo finally. Chris, you saw that one, right? Guns Akimbo.
Yeah.
You talked about that on the show before.
I sure did.
It was good. I liked it. It's very reminds me a lot of Shoot 'em Up, where it's very high paced or fast paced kinetic energy, just nonstop assault of gore and violence, and it was
from the get go, man. It's
Yeah.
just like you don't have time to rest during that movie at all.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I recommend that if you like that type of action. Connor has decided to take upon himself to acquire my taste for really shitty movies, like intentionally shitty movies. So we found one on Amazon Prime called Axe Giant: The Legend of Paul Bunyan, in which I informed you gentlemen of this last week that we watched it. Holy cow.
Oh, God.
That was bad, but unlike Fat Ass Zombies, I was able to get through it in one sitting, which was quite impressive. Watched this Ethan Hawke movie, 24 Hours to Live, on Netflix. It was okay. It was like a polished Crank, where he has 24 hours to solve this murder before he dies. It was okay. Let's see. Oh, Superman Man of Tomorrow, the new animated film from DC's animated vault, if you will.
Hey,
It was good. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I will say my positive outlook on that was that they changed Lex Luthor from Rainn Wilson to Zachary Quinto, which, oh my God, I was so happy about, because Rainn Wilson as Lex Luthor was just, it just didn't work. He's too, I don't know, snively. I don't even know how to say it, but it just didn't work. And Zachary Quinto was much better fit for it. And I watched a movie on HBO Max called Class Action Park. Now, Class Action Park is a documentary about the Action Park in New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it was so good. And basically, you know that movie that Johnny Knoxville made last year called Action Point, where it's basically like that. He opens up an amusement park where they mixed in their jackass stunts with a narrative film, and it was just bad.
Well, didn't he base that on that Action Park?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and he's even in the opening of the documentary, because they're basically talking about, he's on an interview with I don't know, I can't remember if it's Kimmel or Colbert, but he is talking about Action Point or Action Park, because that's what was the inspiration for the movie. And the documentary was crazy, man. And but in the 80s they didn't have like all of these preventatives. They created their own insurance company, and it was just all the crazy stuff that they did to get that park running was just insane. And the owner of the park was just, it was so funny that he tried to get Donald Trump to invest in the park, and even Trump was like, no, man, that's too, someone's gonna die. And many people died in the park. Like it was great, because they just, the safety regulations pretty much didn't even exist.
There were none.
And some of the rides that they talk about, like the Alpine ride, and they had I mean, oh my God, it was just insane. And it takes like some very, like, at first you're like, haha, that's funny, you know, it's like a rite of passage to survive Action Park. But then there were stories where talks about family members who are survivors of someone that died in the park, and it was just really sad. But yeah, it was really good documentary. I highly recommend it. And
where do you watch it at?
It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah, an original for HBO Max. Sonia and I watched Donnie Darko, and I haven't seen it in a really, really long time, because I don't like it. I am not a fan of Donnie Darko. Never liked it. No, never liked it. And I still don't like it. I have my reasons for that. And it's not a very popular one. Sonia loves it.
I love Donnie Darko.
I know. That's what I was asking you. I was like, what are your thoughts on Donnie Darko? But I don't like it. I don't like that there's no explanation for anything. It doesn't make sense. And I think Richard Kelly...
It's a Richard Kelly movie.
Right. And he does that bullshit where if he writes something so over our heads that we're supposed to assume that he's a genius and we just don't understand it. No, It doesn't make sense. We even had to look up online reports on like the best, most comprehensive plot analysis was done by Collider.com. And Sonia and I read through the whole report. I'm like, yeah. And they still don't answer. Like they bring up good points about this, and this, and how Frank, the bunny, it was driving me nuts. And then reading that report was making it worse because it's still no clear resolution as to why things happen in that damn movie. Now, the performances are good. It's visually very stimulating. The music soundtrack, because it's based in the 80s, had great music in it. The performances were good. I just don't like the movie because it doesn't make any damn sense. And it just drove me nuts.
Kelly.
And then he goes
Every one of his movies don't make any damn sense.
And people caught on to it because Southland Tales sucked. The Box is the worst piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. And but yeah. So Donnie Darko, I still stand by it. Don't like it. Won't ever like it because it doesn't make sense. And did see a couple television series. Fargo.
Did you watch the director's cut of Donnie Darko?
That was the selling point because we got the director's cut, which is about 25 minutes longer. Like it's a longer film.
Better.
It is better. It wasn't as bad as I remembered it being, but I told Sonia, I was like, okay, that's a pretty good caveat to rewatch it because it's the director's cut. Maybe that additional 25 minutes has some more exposition that explains some of these things.
Not much, but...
No, not much at all. It's just him being an asshole again about something else, and I don't know. But did watch some television series, Fargo season 4.
I still need to get to that.
Yeah, that just came back. It's fantastic. Looks great. Acting's great. Chris Rock is going to get an Emmy nomination for this show. Nice. I guarantee it because he's doing something he's never done before. He's playing a gangster, a mobster in small town North Dakota, and it's awesome. It's so good. Can't wait to see that. The South Park Pandemic special.
Oh yeah, I did watch that. I forgot about that.
I was like, where are you guys? I thought we all watched this.
Yeah. Okay. That was great.
Connor watched it with me. And so he was like, God, they don't hold back. I'm like, son, I am about to introduce you to the world of South Park, my friend. And it was
Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Yeah. No, they don't know what hold back means.
No, it was so funny and so bad. And I'm not gonna get into specifics here, but there were so many things about it.
The cure for COVID. Oh my God. The cure for
COVID alone. Well, and the reasoning on how it became, it was just so foul and disgusting. And I'm like, well, yeah, I know what I'm watching here. It involves Randy and his affinity for what was that stupid animal? What was it? It's not an opossum.
First it was a bat, then it was
but it wasn't. It was his thing he had with the. It's like an
armadillo. It started with a P.
Yeah,
it looked like a damn armadillo. Is what it
yeah,
looked like.
Yeah, that's
it
what
looked like a porcupine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so funny though, and of course,
so great.
You've got to watch South Park. Very tongue in cheek, very satire, and they make fun of everybody. It isn't just like,
oh yeah, they don't.
Oh, they don't hold back for nothing.
We're just targeting because the thing I like about those guys is that not only do they make fun of both sides of any political or religious spectrum, they make fun of them hard. and yeah, so that was And Connor and I, we've been watching some shows together. We binge watched The Lights, Cobra Kai, and most recently we just finished How I Met Your Mother. And it was my second time to watch the entire series altogether. I had the first 5 seasons on DVD when they came out, and I'd watched those a couple of times. But man, it holds up. I think it's really great, even though the ending is still very controversial. And that's what I was asking you, Chris. If you watched, I couldn't remember if you watched How I Met Your Mother.
I've gotten through half of it. I've never finished it.
Yeah, because it was. I mean, it's very. The ending is very controversial in the fact of how they resolve things with the mom, and and how it ends, and it was good. And he enjoyed the show too. So I was thinking, well, I saw how he reacted to the pandemic special, so I'm thinking, well, son, I think our next one's gonna be South Park, and
that's gonna be a long ride.
yeah, and
It's a
some of
weird
those
ride.
seasons, yeah, some of those seasons aren't very long. He's almost 17. I'm like, you probably hear worse at school,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
and Steven had a comment here. Showed Darko at library. He's a librarian here at the in Panama City, and was fun to. And it said, watch super religious people walk out during Smurf orgy rant. Yes, it is very R-rated, and well, just the dynamic, like the religious undertones of Donnie Darko too, are very. You could tell they were written by a man that is heavily agnostic and kind of creates Donnie Darko as his own kind of. It brings a bit of idealism about him from a religious perspective. Like he's this traveler in this world that's multi-layered and very universal type of stuff, scientific stuff. But yeah, that's all I got to watch.
That only took 15
That's it.
minutes.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And I cut stuff out too. I didn't even talk about the Halloween movies we've been watching,
Oh,
but we watched
that'll-
those over.
We'll save that for a Halloween episode.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're switching gears, obviously, into our headlines, but Jeremy has taken over this responsibility, and so these are Jeremy's headlines,
And we don't know what they are. We're going in cold,
Yes.
so I'm very curious to see where we're going to go on.
Yeah, so
It's gonna get
And
really
I
dark.
did this intentionally.
we're gonna see how this
Oh
goes.
my god!
Okay.
Buckle up.
Buckle up. Here we go. All right. First and foremost, let's start this off. I didn't know where to put this, so let's just put it at the beginning. Eddie Van Halen yesterday died of throat cancer. He was
Yeah.
65. That sucks.
It's like 100 in rock star years. Too.
I know. That co-founder and lead guitarist gone.
Chris made a very inappropriate jump joke in our text.
No,
thread,
I
by the way.
didn't. That was you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I got mistaken.
I at least give it a week.
A week?
Yeah.
It was an hour. But much respect paid
Yes.
to Eddie Van Halen, of course.
One of the greatest guitarists of all time. So, and moving along, we got movie delays again. And here we go. First, No Time to Die, the new James Bond movie. It said no more November 20th, 2020. They're going to April 2nd, 2021. Well, if that April 2nd date sounds familiar, that was where Fast 9 was. Well, Fast 9 said, since you took April 2nd, we'll go to May 28th. Then, today, or yesterday actually, an article in the Hollywood Reporter came out talking about how movie theaters are looking at the worst possible scenarios for the upcoming months. And it's going to be bad. A frustrated Hollywood studio executive in this article said, New York and LA are more than just moviegoing. Not having them open is murder because they are cultural centers of America. When they are not open, the business overall feels dead. Well, then Warner Brothers came out and said, hold my beer.
He's got taglines.
And props.
I like it.
Chris started this
Hey,
on our Screen Addicts Fanatics page.
Facebook.
Dune or Facebook. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, you're right. I was saying
Yeah.
it's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. Yeah. Dune moved from December 18th of this year to October 1st of
God,
next year.
that's crazy.
Well, then they were like, well, the Batman is in October 1st. So guess what? It's going to April 4th of 2022. Then The Flash, which is already scheduled way out in the future at June 3rd, 2022, it went to November 4th, 2022. And what's already there? Shazam 2. So they moved that to June 2nd, 2023.
Oh my gosh.
I'm seeing a domino effect here.
Yeah.
And then there was only one ray of hope, The Matrix 4. They said that one is going to go from April 1st, 2022 to December 22nd, 2021. So it's going backwards. So we're about a year away from it now.
Oh my God.
And then Black Adam was scheduled for December 22nd, 2021. What'd they do with that? They
Moved
just
it.
tossed it off the calendar and it doesn't even have a date anymore.
I was wondering about Black Adam, which is crazy because there was a lot of hype going on for it with The Rock, and he's announced Aldous Hodge playing Hawkman, and man, that's crazy.
And that wasn't it. Universal then came in and was like, hey, we got one, Jurassic World Dominion. It was originally slated for June 11th, 2021. Now it's pushed nearly a full year to June 10th, 2022.
My God. I figured Jeremy would be good with this, but man, he is comprehensive as hell.
This is the hellscape that movie theater owners were worried about. Here it is. It is right in front of us.
Well, and they AMC released a statement that said they could only survive about 6 months of this before they would have to permanently close their doors. And I mean, that's pretty crazy. Like, Mrs. Larkin, she posted something in our Screen Addicts Fanatics page about you guys lost the United Artists.
Yep.
They closed it down.
Our Regal Theater is in Amarillo, Texas, is closed indefinitely.
So does that mean I mean, that's not permanently though.
No.
Right? It's just it's going to be a while before it opens.
Yeah.
And theater
get a big movie to open.
I was going to say, because theater chains were trying to siphon some of the blow by releasing old films back into the theaters. And like, I saw Bill and Ted and Tenet in the theaters, but when I went, like I said, I was the only one in the theater. So it was, I don't know. I don't want to keep pressing on this because we got more stuff, but yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's so if anybody wants any slim ray of hope for anything, Spider-Man 3. Okay. It has a working title of Serenity Now. And,
from Seinfeld?
Yeah.
The quote from Seinfeld? Okay.
Uh-huh. The last couple Spider-Man movies were had Seinfeld working titles too.
That's hilarious. Do you know what those were by any chance?
I read them. I forgot.
I'll look that up. That's hilarious.
Yeah. And in Queens, New York, the people of Queens were told a film shoot was going to take place called Serenity Now starting October 16th of this year. So they were told, keep your cars out of the street because there's going to be filming going on. So that's one bit of promising news that production may be starting on something.
I mean, they would have to at this point. I know that they're probably thinking, well, we've got Black Widow, we've got all these other things down the pike that are just getting pushed. So it's kind of one of those things where they're delaying it, but you don't want to delay it too much as far as productions go, because you never know. Man, when things get released again, we're going to be just swallowed with movies, which is a good thing in my opinion. But
And then the last thing I got, a Slinky movie.
Toy Story Slink?
See, I got you. No,
Man, he's
Not-
just playing with us now, Chris.
Yeah.
not Slinky Dog. Slinky.
Okay, so the
Everyone
actual
loves the
Slinky.
Slinky. Yeah, the real Slinky. From Tamara Davis, director of Billy Madison and
Madison.
the Half Baked. She is going to be doing, it's going to be kind of a documentary movie. It's about the wife of the Slinky inventor.
Okay.
Her name is Betty James. It's going to be taking place after her husband died. She inherited the business. The business started failing, and she's going to tell the story of how Betty built the business from nearly failing to making the Slinky a hot item in the 70s.
That's pretty good. So
that-
it's not like it's a film movie.
It's like,
It's not a
yeah,
documentary.
it's like a biopic, pretty much.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it should be fairly interesting.
I mean, the way that Disney is with Pixar, I could have sworn it was a Slinky Dog spinoff. But yeah,
I thought that too.
It's funny because the founder with Michael Keaton was about Roy Kroc and how they created McDonald's. I thought, well, I mean, that could be okay, I guess. That movie's great. So
Yeah,
if you have a compelling story, then yeah, it could work.
But really, what's compelling about a damn Slinky?
I don't think it's so much the Slinky as much as it is the business sense about it and how it comes to be, and just kind of how it grows and stuff.
No,
Because
I
like
don't give a shit about a Slinky or how it came to be. Like,
Chris, I need to know. I need to know the precise moment it went from metal to plastic, and this movie is going to do that for me.
Oh yeah, they will definitely do that.
The origins of the Slink.
man, this is the stupidest shit I ever heard.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
this is what we've come down to talk to because there's no new movies. A fucking Slinky movie.
So what you're saying is that this movie might be so bad that it will have to be remade in 10 years, perhaps.
Absolutely.
It very well could be.
But still no, because it's a Slinky.
So much for that segue. It was perfect.
Jeez. All right. Anyway, Jeremy, you killed it on the headlines, dude.
Well done, my
the
man.
job is yours, my friend. But as we move on into our main topic tonight, we're going to go back to our old format. We each have 3 movies that we're just going to kind of explain briefly on how much we would love to see these remade and why we would love to see these remade. So we shall get started. And Jeremy, number 3, my man, what movie in your top 3 would you like to see remade?
Number 3, I'm gonna go with From Hell, the movie starring Johnny Depp and directed by the Hughes brothers. I personally like this movie, but it was a box office failure. It was a critical bomb, and it was supposed to be based on Alan Moore's really popular graphic novel, From Hell. And the Hughes brothers did their own thing with it. I liked what they did with it, but it wasn't near what Alan Moore's graphic novel should have been. So they need to remake From Hell.
So for a more faithful adaptation of the story,
Yes.
that's pretty good. That's because I was confused. I was like, man, I remembered you liking that movie a lot,
Yeah,
but
I
that makes
really
sense.
like From Hell, but yeah, it
I guess
needs
when
to be.
something deviates from the source material so much that it becomes something completely different than what it's intending, that's always a good point.
Mhm.
So yeah, as we're going through our picks here, if there's any movies that you think that we may need to talk about that need to be remade, put it in the comments, and we'll we'll see them and we'll talk about them a little bit if we can. So my number three, I'm gonna go with M Night Shyamalan's the Last Airbender.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you. All right, there is almost a cult following for the animated show. Like
Yeah,
it
the
is
animated
the
show.
animated show. I mean, I love the animated show. I even like somewhat the next one, the Legend of Korra.
Hmm.
Um, but man, they screwed that movie up so bad. I mean, the visual effects were decent, but for what they can do now, they could be 10 times better. The storytelling could be 10 times better. It just deserves that justice, that it needs to be made into a good movie, not a shitty movie. I thought the property was in good hands with M. Night, but that's just not his. I mean, he needs to stick to stay in his lane. He needs to stay in his lane
Yeah.
and leave those type of movies to somebody else because that wasn't his jam, man. And there's tons of people that agree. So
I think everybody agrees. That movie was terrible. And cultural appropriation was definitely a necessity in that because I remember when it came out, they casted three white kids as Asian kids, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
didn't
And
they whitewash it?
oh, big time. And it was the
Yeah.
acting that Jackson Rathbone from the Twilight movies was just horrendous. I mean, the whole thing
oh,
was bad. And that's a good one. That's a very, very good pick.
so that's my number three. Steven, what is yours?
My number three is a superhero type of a thing. We had Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. We still need to get that one seminal Hulk movie. Don't necessarily know if it needs to be remade. Ghost Rider, I feel like, should be remade altogether because the last two were terrible, and maybe get Robbie Reyes in there to be Ghost Rider. But
Mm.
I'm gonna settle on this one. Green Lantern. Green Lantern needs to be remade ASAP. And you know what? I don't even care if Ryan Reynolds reprises his role as Hal Jordan and wants to hand it over to someone
No.
like Jon Stewart or something like that. And or Kyle Rayner or any other Actually, you can make all the Green Lantern Corps show up in the new one. It doesn't matter, but it just has to be fixed. That one just set back the DCU so badly, and it just didn't work out. I was gonna say Batman and Robin, but it's kind of hard to pick on a fourth sequel. But I feel like Mr. Freeze is a character that should definitely be remade. And
Chill.
yeah,
I
oh my
love
god,
Arnold, man. What are you
of
talking
course you do,
about?
Chris. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Like, man, they fixed Bane to an extent, but man, they really need to get an appropriate Victor Freeze out there. Just
Yeah.
it was just so bad.
Hey,
But
the Victor Freeze they had in Gotham wasn't bad though.
yeah,
He was good.
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't watch it yet. I'll probably get to it sometime.
That always surprises me. We talk about Gotham, and Jeremy's the only one that actually really watched it, and me
Right.
and you have not.
I just don't. I don't know that revisionist storytelling works to a degree, but when
You
Batman's not
get
even in it.
Batman at the very last episode, so just look
Oh,
forward to
good.
that.
But all of the main bad guys have already been dealt with. It's like Smallville. By
I
the
was about
time
to
he's
say-
Superman, he killed all of his more iconic villains. So I'm like, well, you're done. So congratulations, show's
Yeah.
over. I don't know. I'll get around to it. I like the cast. I like the look of some of the characters that they've done, but
And it
yeah.
has Ryan from the OC.
I know. Good old buddy Ben McKenzie.
All right. My number two. On to number twos, by the way. My number two. I know I gave you a list, but I'm gonna switch 1 and 2.
Oh.
So my number 2 is going to be a movie me and Jeremy went to go watch. Did we go watch it together?
Which one?
The Dark Tower.
No.
Oh. I thought we did. You could have lied.
No.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah,
Anyway,
play the
Dark
game,
Tower.
bro.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry.
The Dark Tower. Man, as much hype as Jeremy gave me, like this should be good. He read all the books, and the books are amazing. Apparently, I still need to read them. So I was very hyped about this movie, to the extent like I read some of it. You know, I'm like, okay, this is actually there's a good story behind this. There's a lot of good things that can go, and then you go watch this movie. And it's nothing like the book. Like not even close. And you're like, this is BS, man. And you're like, I cannot believe, like, with the cast that they had, with the cast that was there, like they had all the right ingredients for a good movie. It was just so bad.
They had the right ingredients for the movie, but the problem is the Dark Tower needs to be at least 10 movies.
Or a TV series.
Or a TV series.
Which, Jeremy, is it you that said that, I think, is Amazon making a Dark Tower series?
Somebody's making a Dark Tower series.
Yeah, I thought it was Amazon too. I think they bought the rights to it. And Idris Elba even expressed interest in coming back as the gunslinger too.
And
But-
isn't Andy Muschietti doing it?
I don't know. Maybe.
We'll have to look
think
back
he
into it.
is.
So, but I mean, if it gets remade into a series, that's fine too. But just please wipe that movie off the face of earth like it never had been made ever. 'Cause there's some cool scenes, but it's just so bad.
Well, they tried to combine 7 books into an hour and 45-minute movie, and you can't do that.
Look, we got a comment. It's so weird that the movie is taking place after the last book.
Yeah. Well, because that's what I was gonna wonder. I didn't read the book, so I thought they were covering like 2 or 3 books. And
They sequelized the last book.
Yeah.
And that just screwed everything up.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
It's there. You had the ingredients. Let's just do this the right way. Anyway, all right, Steven, what do you got for number 2, man?
My number 2 is just something fun that I would like to see. And now I would request that Tim Burton do this, but I would need the Tim Burton from the 90s, not so much the Tim Burton of today. And I know this may seem a bit sacrilegious for all the cult following that it has maintained and deserves, but I wouldn't hate seeing a Plan 9 from Outer Space movie with a big budget. I love the original. It's so traditionally bad. It's so goofy. It's hilarious. It has its place. Ed Wood, I know, is your boy, Jeremy.
You know, Tim Burton already pretty much remade Plan 9.
No, I mean, I know Mars Attacks was kind of like his love letter to all of those movies, but I want something. And you could even get like a professional wrestler. You could get someone who looks like just anybody. And I think that it could really work. I think it could be really fun too. And if you want it to be bad, you know, it could be bad, but it has all those elements. And I mean, of course, you probably should have some, you know, with the hubcaps, the metal
If you're
hubcaps, and
gonna
flying saucers.
remake that movie, it's gotta have that stuff in it. That's
Yeah.
just a requirement.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that with him doing it, it would be pretty good. That's my number 2.
Nice. All right, Jeremy, what do you got for number 2, man?
Number 2, the 1997 movie Spawn.
Oh yes, good
I
call.
want this movie remade so damn bad, and so does its creator, Todd McFarlane. He's been trying so damn hard for years to get his specific script off the ground, and no one will take it.
Yeah.
They won't let him make it.
Well, because he wants final cut on it. He wants like producer's cut on it, and nobody wants to give it to him. Because, but Todd McFarlane hasn't given him any incentive to give him that. You know, he's not Christopher Nolan. He hasn't done anything. So, I mean, I guess that's their apprehension for giving him keys to the kingdom. But he is the creator. So, I mean, if anybody, it would be pretty good. But yeah, I would.
The way he wants to do it, he wants to make a hard R, dark detective noir story of mainly about the two main detectives in the Spawn story. And he wants Spawn to be like a background kind of person, like in the shadows.
Who do you cast as Al Simmons in your remake?
I don't know. Jamie Foxx said he wants to do it.
Well, of course he does.
He's Michael B. Jordan now.
Oh yeah, did you hear about that? He's coming back. That's weird, but I say Michael B. Jordan. I love him.
I'm down.
But yeah,
Spawn,
Spawn. Cool. Okay. Do we have any? Before we go on to number 1, Land, any honorable mentions?
I have a bunch. So if you guys got any, I can probably knock them off of this list here. You got any, Chris?
Not off the top of my head. If you start talking, I may come up with some. So go ahead.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Speed Racer. The Wachowskis botched it. Looks like a gumball exploded all over the place. The action sequences were okay, but the narrative of that movie was a disaster. Made no damn sense. Didn't care about Speed Racer. It was Racer X is one of the coolest characters in animation history, and he looked like a punk. And that's my boy Matthew Fox from Party of Five. So I wouldn't speak ill of one of the Salingers, but damn it, that was a misstep, big time. Chris, how about this? With today's innovations, Mac and Me. Do a remake of Mac and Me.
Do it.
I was thinking that.
Do it.
You know, Jeremy, your shirt that you're wearing kind of inspired me to think maybe a Garbage Pail Kids movie reboot could be done.
Yes.
I mean, I think today is more of an acceptable time for that bizarre weirdness and, you know, maybe give it a decent plot. But I had a couple of video game movies that I wanted to mention. Max Payne. The Mark Wahlberg movie that was a complete disaster. That character's so cool. That movie could be pretty good. House of the Dead, if given into the right hands, that would be pretty awesome. Definitely not Yui Bowles, but and I know they're making a Mortal Kombat, so I think that one's taken care of. Gotti, the John Travolta Gotti should definitely be remade because that's considered one of the worst movies of last year. And John Gotti, man, that's a great iconic character in, you know, pop culture history because of his ties to the mob. Like, you could have had a Goodfellas-esque level movie with Gotti, but they didn't. And
here you go, Steven. Look,
what is that? Oh, Plan 9 came out in 2015. It's on Tubi for free. I think Plan 9 is it's like what's the movie where, like, Sherlock Holmes, like, it's public domain, so I think you can take it and edit it into however you want. So that's pretty cool. The Van Helsing, I had Van Helsing It should be a lot better with better visual effects and all the universal monsters. I think that could be pretty cool. Speed 2, not so much, but maybe a Speed 3, righting that wrong. Because I hate that my favorite action movie of all time is saddled with a really terrible sequel. And I said Battlefield Earth, but Jeremy, you kind of talked some sense into me about that one.
What about batteries not included?
Yeah, that'd be good.
And Johnny Five.
Short Circuit.
Short Circuit. That would be a good one.
He would definitely be pretty cool. Like, he would be so updated on tech now. Like, he wouldn't even look the same. That'd be kind of scary. Like, look what they did to RoboCop.
They wouldn't. I don't think they would make Johnny Five practical, though. They would probably CGI it.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and that's no.
Yeah.
I guess Johnny Five, like the new version of Johnny Five, is that what's the movie? Real Steel.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that movie. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice little father-son story.
Kind
of like it's over the top with the robots.
That's what I said, and that's probably why it's so good. My friend Steven said Valerian, City of a Thousand Planets, which, yeah, yeah.
The visuals were there in that one, though.
Oh, yeah, they looked great. I know that there was a lot of content from the books that was just heavily glossed over, and the characters weren't very well fleshed out.
It was miscast.
Mm-hmm.
Dane DeHaan and what's her name, really?
Oh, that's Sonya's girlfriend, Cara Delevingne. Like, she will argue against that. She will say that was casted 100%. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, number one land. So we can wrap it up, fellers. Steven, what do you have for number one?
I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies to watch of all time. But for the mainstream audiences, it's considered one of the worst movies ever made. A rotten egg, if you will.
The Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. No, nobody says anything ill of Toxie. But I am talking about Howard the Duck. Lauded as one of the worst movies ever made. And I think
it's not.
With that, it's not. I agree, Jeremy, but people just didn't get it. But I think with someone like James Gunn and his homage to Howard in the Guardians of the Galaxy post-credit scene, I think if he was given carte blanche, if you will, to make a fleshed out Howard the Duck movie, that would be pretty awesome. Because he fits in the vein of the Guardians, that type of style, and
he needs to join the Guardians.
Right, yeah. Just that's how he can be tied into them, and then he'll get his own spin-off movie.
Exactly.
But yeah, have two almost alike characters in him and Rocket.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a buddy cop movie in the making. That's
perfect.
Put Rocket in the Howard the Duck movie.
Oh,
yeah, we are just printing money ideas.
There's the $1 billion idea just down the drain.
That is what's going to save movies.
The United Artists will gladly reopen their doors for Howard and Rocket. But yeah,
dude, one of us need to make that presidential sign, Howard and Rocket 2020, baby.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, Jeremy, you're number one, man.
Number one, 1980s classic. And I mean classic. I love this movie. And it needs a remake. And with these modern special effects, it would be outstanding. The Last Starfighter. And the plot is simple. It wouldn't take much. You could get a decent actor, a few decent actors in there, and they could have some fun with The Last Starfighter. It would be a good time.
Hell, you could even sequelize that when you think about it, because I was
Uh-huh.
going to ask you, would you update the software as to how he's playing it? Would you transfer it from an arcade game to I don't know, like an Xbox console or something like that?
Ooh, you would kind of have to,
I
because the big arcade machines, they're kind of gone by the wayside now.
That's true, but what I was thinking was, like, say some kid, like, runs into it, sees it at some dusty old, uh, gas station, starts
Yeah,
playing it, and he's
that
like,
would
"Oh,
be
this
cool.
is pretty cool," and then it shoots him into it. You know, it's
Yeah.
funny, my friend Steven actually made that note too. He said Last Starfighter is a great movie, just would be nice to see with new graphics. I just didn't wanna step on your number 1 until you said that, but apparently that's a pretty good point, you know, and this is something that we were talking about, Chris, that, you know, some of these movies would benefit. Yeah, Alonzo, Last Starfighter. It's some of these movies could really benefit from having updated special effects, and I
Absolutely.
think a lot of those science fiction ones kind of hurt in the process.
Ooh, dude, what if we remade Weird Science?
You just want to make a naked chick, Chris. Man, I'm not sitting naked in the bathtub with you, Chris.
Look, Jeremy already looks like he got a bra on his head, so
Yeah, we created Jeremy.
oh shoot. All right. Both excellent picks, fellas. Both excellent picks. But I have the end all be all of movies that need to be remade, because the first one was like dumpster fire horse shit. And we deserve so much better from this property. And it is the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah. The pantheon of great video game adaptations.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, there's like not one thing you can say good about this movie.
No, it's terrible.
And I was thinking earlier of Jeremy, you were talking about Spawn earlier, right? And don't we? Isn't there an actor that is in both of those in my movie and that movie?
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo,
Like Wazama. Yeah.
that piece of shit,
He ruined
messing up movies left and right, dude.
You know, I'll go ahead and say it. I hate The Pest. I thought that movie sucked. I don't know why
on
people
my
think The Pest is
nerves.
like one of the funniest movies. I hated that movie.
Yeah, no. But
I like John Leguizamo though.
the Super Mario Brothers movie, there's one that needs to be made, and it needs to be made right.
Mm-hmm.
God, that movie sucks so bad.
Well, you look at Sonic, right? Sonic was pretty good,
Yeah.
and it looked great. So you can follow suit with that. You know, it could be live
Absolutely.
action, and enter the plumbers literally enter this new world, and there you go.
Yeah.
And there you go. The console wars has gone to the big screen.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Sonic is now better than the Mario Brothers in this realm, so they
Yeah.
better get on it.
Hey,
I thought the Mario Brothers movie was perfect, personally, but
of course you would. You like fat ass zombies.
whoa, I did not like that movie. But I mean, I remembered even as a kid watching the Super Mario Brothers movie. There was a poster of it previewing it at the Westgate Mall movie theater, and I thought, oh, Super Mario Brothers, that's awesome. And it was like this weird off-color poster, like almost black and white. And I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be incredible. And then you watch it and you're just like, what? These aren't Goombas. What are these things? And they're those rocket boots that they wear, and Dennis Hopper is King Koopa. What the hell? He had scales, like his hair was scale. Oh my God!
He needed a paycheck.
Man, yeah, big time. So bad. But yeah, I think you encompassed all of this with that pick, Chris. That's the perfect definition because this came from the Screen Addicts Fanatics post of Richard Roper making a quote from Gene Siskel saying, why are we remaking good movies? Why don't we take an opportunity to remake one that wasn't good or needed a better shot? And Chris, I think with something like Super Mario Brothers, you did it, my man.
Yeah, it was a rough one. They need to pay us to make movies. One day, fellas, one day, we're going to make this. We're going to make a movie. It's going to be amazing, and we will be millionaires and die the next day.
Mr. Vegas, we need to talk to you about your weird science. It has been rated NC-17 and cuts need to be made.
Yeah, that'll happen. All right. Anything else? Any comments on your side of the feed, Steven? You caught up?
I'm good, man.
Oh, look. And you had... Oh, look. Good. Steven, here you go. This comment is for you, my man.
All right, let's hear it. Remake The Room. Trevor, I will not sit here and take that, man. The Room is perfection. It is cinematic perfection. No need to do it.
Yeah,
I don't even know how.
No, that just needs to be erased from history.
I was gonna say The Room. There's like nothing to grab onto to make that movie better. No. There's just nothing there. There's no substance. It's like grabbing Jello, man. It's just you can't do it. And I don't even know. It's like Tommy Wiseau is a cherished figure in my perspective, but I don't even know where. I need to pick Trevor's brain and see how that could even be possibly done because. My God. It's so bad.
All right, fellas. Thanks for going down this road with us. Everybody that has commented, everybody that has stayed throughout the live show, thank you for listening tonight. Fellas, anything from y'all before we close out? Any shout outs? Any good things going on?
I will say that I started listening to this podcast called Boomtown, and what it is, it's just this guy who's from the Permian Basin area in West Texas, and he basically interviews people that have been affected by the oil booms and cafe diners, just from all levels of government down there, and it's just so crazy how good that podcast is, and it makes me very homesick. And I don't know, I love listening to it. It's just a slice of Texas. And speaking of Texas podcasts, I'm gonna pimp out Hank the Cowdog has a podcast now.
What?
Yes. And Chris, the boys, definitely family friendly. And get this, Matthew McConaughey plays Hank, and each episode is like a short 20-minute episode of Hank involved in the farm and like just his little adventures. And get this crap, Jesse Plemons plays Drover, his best friend.
Funny.
Kirsten Dunst plays Sally, the mom, and Michael Shannon is Sinister the Bobcat, the bad guy. And it's produced and written and directed by Jeff Nichols, the guy that did Mud, Take Shelter. I mean, there's like some pretty big names in the production of this podcast.
The shit that goes down when there's a pandemic in your
the creativity. And I thought, oh my God, Hank the Cowdog. Nobody outside of Texas is going to probably know that unless, you read children's books or something. But I've listened to the first 3 episodes. It's so fun. I don't know, but Hank the Cowdog has a podcast.
I take the boys to school and pick them up from school every day, so I know we'll be listening to.
Dude. I think there's about 6 episodes now, but like I said, they're 20 minutes. So yeah, by the time you go and come home,
awesome. That's cool.
Yeah. Did you ever read any of the Hank the Cowdog books?
Of course, dude. Oh, yeah. At Oakdale, we had like every volume. Like John R. Erickson was our John R. Grisham.
Did you get his autograph?
Didn't he come to the school? Didn't he sign books? No. Please tell me you have a autographed copy of Hank the Cowdog.
2 of them.
Dude, I will buy one of them from you. We'll talk about this later, Chris.
close this out so we can talk about it.
Let's wrap this shit up.
All
Business
right.
needs to be conducted.
Okay. Well, everybody, thanks for sticking around this hour and 15 minutes. We had a lot to talk about. It's been a while since recorded, so thank you for sticking around. Wherever you're listening to, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, there's much more. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora. We're everywhere. So if you're here, since you're here, go ahead and hit subscribe so you know when our new episodes drop every time we drop one. And then also, right after you subscribe, go ahead and leave us a review. If you leave us a 5-star review, that helps us a lot. It helps us get found in searches a lot easier. And then you can spread the word that you listen to this amazing podcast that is rated 5 stars, because there are a lot out there that are not as good as we are. So please spread the love of the Screen Addicts. And another way you can spread that love is follow us on our social media. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, all you have to look up is the Screen Addicts Podcast. And follow the pages there. And then if you're on Facebook, go ahead and join our Facebook group. It's called the Screen Addicts Fanatics. And that is where we are most active. We are always putting trailers, funny crap all the time, 24/7. We have some very loyal people to that page that love movies almost or just as much as we do, and they are always keeping our fans up to date on that page. If you are on Twitter, find us there as well. We're on Screen_Addicts, and Addicts is spelled ADDICS. And then we also one of us three are a superstar on Twitter. And that is Jeremy right there. Jeremy,
This
let
guy.
the people know what your Twitter handle is, my man.
At Jeremy Marshall, JERIMIE, and Marshall's spelled like Marshall. So
And yes, go follow Jeremy. He is it's like the president and then Jeremy.
nah, he's got a few more million than me.
Oh, okay.
Just a few, though.
yeah, just a few.
But again, thanks guys for joining us tonight. But as for me, good night.
Adios, amigos.
Good evening.